Holy crap, a minute early and I'm hitting the go live button? What is this? So it is official. I'll post the little picture in our chat. The girls have officially been invited, scheduled, and slotted to do 2 separate panels at PAX West.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Okay, that's cool. That's cool shit. Where is Pac West? That's not California, is it?
Seattle.
Seattle. Okay. Okay. Well, that's easy for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yup. What was that?
Toasty.
I feel like somebody dying.
I was like, does one of my cats get stuck in here? But no. I don't know.
Cass! What's up? Also, I tried to
There's no
find the
video.
movie. What do you mean there's no video?
I don't see video on Twitch.
That sounds
have
like
a
a
show
you
without.
problem, buddy.
Oh, really? All right. Well, let me reload it. Oh, here we go. Now there's stuff playing.
Okay.
Yep, there it is. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
I think I'm actually set and ready. Go Ben, then Toasty. So after I do the intro, it'll be Ben. Up to you. Do you know who you are today?
Wait, what?
I'm Genesis, the girl who, and then I say something. You are Ben, the guy who said something.
Oh, see, I was at work when I was reading that, so I barely paid attention to it.
It's only the layout of the whole fucking show, Ben. It's not that
I
important,
know,
yes.
right? The guy who supports Triss. There we go.
Lame.
I don't
Alright.
know.
Boring!
You're boring.
Come on. You're the one who fucking listened to me first day, buddy. You obviously didn't think it was boring.
I don't know, okay?
It's the same shit. It's anytime anyone gives me shit and I'm like, hey, buddy, you're the one paying me money. So you can say what the fuck you want about me. You're here on your own time.
Also, not the guy that said that she has other support. Oh, wait, what? Okay. Oh God. I've been who.
If it also makes you feel any weirder, I've listened to hundreds of hours of your voice.
Who? Toasty or me?
Well, the both of you. Well, I guess maybe not Ben for hundreds of hours, but definitely Toasty. I've listened to hundreds of hours of his voice. And I've also edited out 100,000 coughs.
What?
That doesn't surprise me.
It's fine. We're not even doing the actual show yet. This doesn't matter.
Nope, it doesn't.
I'll get some water. Whatever.
No, you're fine, dude.
Water's always good.
I actually don't have a drink, so I need one.
Okay.
Okay, well, that gives me time to think.
TikTok, man.
Hell up.
I can't believe his mic picked that up. It's
I
totally in a
know.
different fucking room.
Well, he has the. I mean, the mic he has is a good mic. It's a Shure, I think 250 or something. I don't know. I have one too.
Give me 7, whatever the base bitch one is.
Oh yeah, I have a
Sure is
much
not
nicer
basic
one.
bitch.
No, Shure's not basic.
No, but the MV
Shure is a very good,
bitch
but
one.
it's like the basic
Mm.
version of Shure. Yeah, I don't know.
I went with Yeti because I am the basic bitch and I didn't want to invest.
I just got what Tom told me to get because he was doing a show.
I have an AKG C214.
What?
Ooh.
It's a $400 mic.
Ben showing off his EP.
It's great.
All right. An ad break is going to start in 6 seconds. So as soon as that is over, then Jesus, Bat Night.
What the hell?
I don't know what song that is. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I do.
Is that the? I don't
Is
know
that
if that was.
Muse or Paramore?
I know that one specifically from that's Ozzy's part from a Post Malone song where he collabed with Ozzy Osbourne. Well, I don't know if that's actually from a different part. Okay, you're cool.
Oh.
Okay.
That's what you get. You get your.
It's a good song.
Okay.
To be fair.
If you're talking about songs, NSYNC is stuck in mind because of Deadpool.
Bye,
Yeah.
bye, bye.
That one.
Oh, sure. I can barely read that.
It's fine. It's real fucking small and blurry. There it is. So
Oh, I see Ozzy Osbourne.
yeah, it's Post Malone, Ozzy Osbourne, and Travis Scott. It was not a collab that I expected back in 2021, but hey,
No. No, it's not. I think my favorite unexpected collab of all time has got to be Jay-Z and Linkin Park, though. Encore fucking hits.
you know what? You know what collab wasn't on my bingo card for 2024 or just my entire life in general? Harry Underwood and Papa Roach, because I saw that today.
Fair. Did you ever expect Disney to go pop punk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Shit.
Disney can't do anything original anymore at this point. They have to recopy all of the popular stuff. Pop punk was popular. They've just been working their way up.
Fair point. Fair point.
All right. We will get off of musical collabs and go to podcasting collabs and start the show. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who is putting the final touches on her new cosplay. I just need the right boots. Ben, I said you were
and I guess
second.
it's me. I am second. I am Ben, who is also a voice actor and do way too many projects in my time.
I'm Toasty, the guy who lit this fucking divinely scented candle in preparation for tonight's show and is currently committing in the act of cannibalism.
You're eating bread. Buttered toast. I love it.
Butter toast.
Oh, the act of cannibalism. Okay. Is that self-cannibalism? Is there a different word for when it's self-cannibalism?
It's all cannibalism whenever it's self cannibalism, but that would be me biting into my own flesh or
Mm.
crust.
All right.
Don't be crusty. Crusty humans are not good humans.
No. Too much char.
Well,
Bold of
if
you
you're
to
new
assume
here,
I'm human.
facts. If you're new here, welcome to the beautiful chaos that is this holy, unholy trifecta. We have Ben of Temeria, Toasty of where did you
Predagore.
decide you were?
Predagore.
Tredagore. And Yenesis of Toussaint. Here to talk about the Witcher babes. I titled this episode The Battle of the Babes because that's what it is in my brain. The Witcher women are powerful sorceresses in their own right. They are both gorgeous. They both have both pros and cons to their relationship. But I no, I'm not on the fence anymore. I'm really, really not. I have a solid choice in my mind. Because when we did our Triss episode, I was like, I actually kind of like a lot more of this relationship than I thought that I would. But my heart is still with Yenn. But I wanted to dive into this a little bit more and talk with you guys both about it. So, on my side quest episode, I invited the Witcher Lorecast boys on to the two girls so that way they could battle it out in the same episode. Mwahahaha. I literally text V. I'm having the guys come on because I want to watch the world burn. So,
Well, it's going to be a very short-lived world because it's mainly Toasty burning me. We already discussed this in length.
oh, and poor
I
Triss has
know.
already been roasted before. Throwing her back into the.
Right?
It's
It's
fine. She deserved
terrible.
it.
Whoa. Hang on a second there. Just a
Okay.
little.
I will start the first question off with Ben and ask specifically why Triss over Yenn.
So, if we're getting into games, I chose Triss over Yen because I mean, I've done, all the relationships in the games, but I felt it was more of a natural relationship with Triss, in my opinion, because the whole Geralt and Yennefer to me felt way too forced. I mean, I've obviously in the books that's a whole thing, but the way they depicted Yin in the games felt, I don't know. She was whipping Geralt way too much, and I didn't feel like that was right for him.
Okay, so you feel like the game wants you to be with Yen, and so that's why you went with Triss because it was not the one that the game was trying to force you into?
Yeah.
Didn't you romance Liara?
Yes.
Point dismissed. Okay. Um,
Well, they didn't try. Whoa, they did not try to force you with Liara. Or wait, Liara. Oh, Mass Effect. I'm sorry, I was thinking Liliana for some reason.
oh. Well, Liliana too, and well, okay. Yeah, no, not Liliana. I feel like the game wants you to romance Morrigan or Alistair for Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
Liara. Yeah. Fair point. But yeah, I don't know. Just the relationship seemed a lot more wholesome, especially the ending where Geralt can settle down in Kovir with her and still be a Witcher and do what he does, instead of being just retired. Because Geralt, he's not going to just sit around and do nothing. He wants to be the white knight. He wants to be the hero. At least in some capacity at some point or another, because you know for a fact he goes out walking about and he hears some monsters attacking somebody, he's going to rush in and try to kill it because that's Geralt.
Yeah, but he can still do that in Toussaint.
Oh yeah, true, but I'm just talking about base game endings as a whole, not like the Toussaint ending.
Okay.
That's just me, and I just it's redheads. Enough said. And Toasty's rolling his eyes. Whatever.
I will give points for being more physically attracted to Triss over Yenn. Like, that's a point that I can understand. So, okay. Toasty, you got fighting words back? Points that you want to argue against? Or do you want me to just ask the question?
I mean, the question is the same thing as my fighting points back. I'm going to be mildly respectful here and let Ben have his time to talk because I know how I'm going to use my time to talk.
Yeah, it's not going to be nice.
So
That's
I
for sure.
will make a counterpoint, just to say counterpoint. Ben said Triss relationship feels more natural. I argue against that fact by saying that it is the more forced one, specifically because she actually forces you to love her by withholding the truth of Geralt's actual true love and the woman that he would sacrifice and pursue to the ends of the earth for if he'd known about her. But unfortunately, he lost his memory, and Triss, might I point out, the best friend of said woman that Geralt would track down with everything he has, pretended like she doesn't exist. Hey, here I am. Let's go fuck in a pool.
Okay, that's fair. But okay, Witcher 2, yes, I agree where things were not the best because she was one for the only she was the only romance option in 2, period. With 3, with you having the choice and where the remorse and the regret, everything that she did in 2 fixed it for me in my eyes to where she was trying to redeem herself. So
I know people probably have, I guess, varying opinions on what like this, because it's supposed to be perceived as like okay, that's like the idea behind it is that like Geralt forgives her, so like therefore we should forgive her. But I have a very strong stance when it comes to that stuff, and Geralt's in that relationship with Triss in The Witcher 1 and 2 was not able to give informed consent to the relationship, and therefore was taken advantage of. And I can never get past something like that because I still just see it as disgusting regardless of Geralt's point of view on it.
Especially in 1, because it happens within, like, Geralt wakes up and within 2 days of Triss being there, she's like, "Oh, Witcher!" And then you're in bed with her. And it's like, oi.
Yeah. Do I think that Geralt would sleep with Triss like in the games? Probably, but if he'd had knowledge of Yennefer, it would have been a completely different scenario. So it's just a major sticking point on me. But
that's fair, but then you have to think in going to the book logic, regardless if Geralt knew of Yen or not, he still slept with many of the sorcerers of the lodge, regardless being, quote unquote with Yen.
yeah, and again, there's
So
nothing in the books where they had a conversation about being exclusive. If anything, it seemed like they both had the knowledge that they weren't exclusive for their various needs. And that's fine. we know Geralt's going to sleep with everyone. That's kind of an expectation. He's a Witcher. He specifically, the mutations give him a higher libido that he needs to get out. So like, and that's fine because Yennefer also pursues trysts with other individuals. We'll probably be talking about a Shard of Ice at some point tonight, I imagine. But in that situation, again, it's if Geralt had known, he would have gone after Yennefer. But should Triss have traveled with him, they probably would have had a thing going on. But it's not a manipulation into being his one true love scenario that Triss was trying to achieve by not telling Geralt about Yennefer. And that's the gripe there.
Okay. I can see your point there.
Yes. Now, if we want to go and point more directly in, to The Witcher 3, the game where you actually quote have a choice, and who the pick is. And I understand Ben's point on the game seeming like they're pushing you towards Yennefer. And I understand as a player of a game, like, you feel like if you have a lack of agency in the decisions that you're making in a game where you have many decisions in this matter, I can get as a player that would kind of suck. I truly believe, though, the game is is pushing you towards Yennefer because Geralt himself would pick Yennefer. We know from the books, and Ben can't defy the books. He knows the books as well as I do.
Sadly,
Triss,
yes.
Triss is not really an entity. Like, did they have a thing,
No.
like a little fling? Yeah, of
Yes.
course. It's what Geralt's had a fling with pretty much every member of the Lodge of Sorceresses, sans Francesca. I think Ben and I were talking about this the other day. But
Yes.
Triss is not a like higher figure beyond that fling. He has always been focused on and been in love with Yennefer. And what's up? Jen has points.
I do.
Well, it's
I have a point on that one when you said that wouldn't be considered more than just a fling. I think she would because Geralt and her have a pretty good friendship outside of all of that. And with the way that Triss and Ciri are so connected and tied together, that Geralt would treat her like Geralt would treat her better than he treated Kira. Let's say, you know. So there would be more of an an emotional attachment rather than just a fling.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm speaking more in the terms of romantic and sexual relationships, not friendships. So yes.
Yeah, but the best romance comes from a great friendship.
Not always.
Not always, but
My wife and I
you know.
were not friends before we got together, and I've been married
I
for 8
understand it's
years
not for
now.
everybody, but it can be a thing. I'm just saying
Yes.
it can be a thing.
So, but again, I don't even know where I was at. I was talking about The Witcher 3. I'm sorry. But yes, I do think the game pushes you towards that romance because it is the perspective of Geralt. We are playing as Geralt. We are playing as our own custom character where we've decided everything about their background. You get more choice, which I guess in Mass Effect maybe you don't, from the sounds of it. I don't know much about Mass Effect, but they push you towards a romance in that, and you get to decide who Shepard is. That one kind of sucks more. I know you still have the choice, but that still feels weird. But yeah, I mean, and I think that the game doesn't do a great job of offering us a good enough reason for Geralt picking Triss over Yennefer.
Well, I will say this with the whole Triss thing. With CDPR, they wanted to bring in another form of romance for Geralt to eventually do this, with The Witcher 3 to where you can choose who you want to be with and everything that. And the easiest one was Triss because the whole relationship with Ciri, the fling with Geralt in the short stories. So it was the easiest one of the sorcerers to do something with. So, I mean, yeah, I get where Tosi's coming from totally. And I mean, I've always understood the whole point of it. I just choose Triss because I like Triss. Like that's the only reason why. But at a gameplay mechanic and gameplay value of it, the whole reason that Triss is a romance option is because CDPR wanted another romance option, and she's the easiest one to formulate into the story.
Mhm. I do think that this would be a much more even argument if 1 and 2 didn't exist the way that it did.
Oh, absolutely. Now, if we add
if I didn't have
Shawnee
that
into the
gripe,
mix,
it'd be such an even thing, you know?
now if we add Shawnee into the mix, let's be honest, she's
Shawnee's
like one of the best ones.
Shawnee's the healthier option for Geralt.
Exactly.
Both of these women that we're talking about today, just to put that out there, incredibly toxic relationships. Do not pursue relationships like this in your real life. They're not healthy.
No, they're not.
That's why we have these video games and other outlets to pursue toxic relationships so that we can have an understanding of the what not to do.
Yeah. Shawnee is great, and I love her, and I've loved, like, every time that I've gotten to talk about her. The only problem that I have with the Shawnee relationship is that it doesn't go beyond that DLC. You
Yeah.
can't
Oh,
stay with
absolutely.
her. You don't get to, I would have loved to have seen a tag team together where it was like, okay, Geralt is fighting the monsters and Shawnee is just traveling with him and offering her services where in whatever town they're going to. Or if Shawnee was required to go with the Redanian army for a little bit longer and go to the next outpost, Geralt would travel with her. It would be the same thing as Triss going to Vizima. Geralt would travel with and be able to stick together. But the way that Geralt talks to Shawnee is my favorite version of Geralt. I loved his, like, this is the 13th century, babe. You don't need a man conversation. That was amazing.
Right. No, like that's something I kind of think that CDPR could have done better with is when they did Hearts of Stone, have her as a hey, here's a third option, and just like completely sidewind everybody playing the game. It's like, hey, by the way, we have a new option for romance. Now who do you pick? Kind of a thing. I kind of wish they just did something like that to side swing everybody into the game, and then her be an actual relationship through added some stuff with the base game and then with Blood and Wine. That'd have been like perfect. But they didn't.
They never add romance options in DLCs.
I know
Much to
it's
my
sad.
own chagrin.
Well, I mean, Shawnee being added as the DLC option in it was in Blood and Stone, right?
Or
Hearts of Stone.
it's Hearts of
Hearts of
Stone. Yeah,
Stone.
Hearts of Stone.
She was, but like
She was
specifically
like a
just in
only
that.
that DLC. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of wish they added, hey, she's in Hearts of Stone, and now we added her. Like, here's some stuff we add if you haven't completed the main game. Here's now some stuff with the main game, kind of a thing. But
Especially because she's so integral in, like, some of the other things. She knows Dandelion. Like, you could have had a whole Dandelion, like, all the stuff that we do with him, Shawnee could have been involved with that. Yes, agreed. We can't change the past. Damn it. I don't know how many times I've tangented on ways that I wish I could change a storyline to a video game that came out over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a little bit early, but these Gen side quests are supposed to be a little bit shorter episodes, so I will take this moment here to go to our mid break. Mid break dance. We are doing a Witcher waltz today. I don't know how that's going to look with a 3-person team, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. Waltz
You
that
and
way.
Ben dance and I stand off on the side because I'm not gonna fucking waltz.
I have 2 left. Well, no, I can somewhat dance, but no, I'm good. I don't dance is not my thing.
You're gonna make me
They don't
waltz alone?
they don't put that in the Witcher mutagens. That's the one thing that they left out was dancing.
Yeah,
Geralt can dance.
they don't teach that at Kaer Morhen.
Geralt
I'm
can
sorry.
dance because he was in a long-term relationship with Yennefer.
Exactly. She taught him how to dance.
She made him dance.
You think Vesemir taught the Witchers at Kaer Morhen how to dance? The only thing he knows how to dance is to pirouette. That's the only thing he knows how to do.
Yeah. Geralt had to learn how to do ballroom dancing because all he could do was ballet. I can't remember. Was that in? Am I making a scene up from the book? Isn't there a moment where like Yennefer gets on to Geralt about how he's gonna be required to dance at like the thing? I can't remember.
Oh,
The ball at
shoot,
Aretuza, the party at
yeah,
Aretuza. I don't know if
I
I'm
think
making
so. I
something
can't
up.
remember. Oh, now you're making
We'll
No,
me
get back
that
to it
wonder.
sounds
eventually. We're
right.
doing a Witcher book club later, so
Right.
Okay. Well, there are some fun facts for you. We went through Witcher mutagens and dance styles and the name. So, fun facts are out of the way, but in the middle of the show, we always shout out our patrons. So, special shout outs to Toasty and Apollo, Becky and Daddy Bat Night, Stone Mystios and Muffiny Cake, Win, Evie from HR, and Magister Davida. I also have a couple of big announcements to make. One, the girls have gotten over 200 ratings on Spotify. So, I'm so excited about that. We are now at 203. You guys are amazing, and I love our listeners. Thank you so much for all the support. Breaking that 200 mark right before the girls are about to hit their biggest stage yet. I am very, very happy to announce, and it was posted on Twitter earlier today. So if you're following us, you already know. The girls were invited by a previous interview guest that we had on the show. Games developer, writer, narrative designer Michelle Clough is very involved at PAX West, one of the West Coast's biggest conventions for games development. Michelle invited V and I to come up and be a part of 2 separate panels at prime times, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Friday night and Saturday night. I could not be more excited and just jazzed to get up to Seattle and be a part of these panels. Information will be linked in the show notes if you guys want to check out the names of the panels that we will be doing. And if you're traveling to PAX and you want to come meet the girls, we will see you there. I'm so excited. Yay. And there are more fun, amazing announcements to come in the world of conventions and cons. There's one in September that we are going to be talking about very, very soon. I'm excited for that one as well. I think that's everything to say in the middle of the show. Once again, listeners, thank you for being amazing. Big hearts and major loves. All right. Back into it. Now, after the mid break, it is tradition to either go into a romance scene breakdown or flip the script. So, we'll go into flipping the script and make you guys say nice things about the woman that you didn't choose. Ben, you want to. What are some nice things that you could say about Yennefer?
I would say, I mean, being in the relationship with her, she is very loyal to Geralt and very, very loyal to Ciri, who is probably the apple of Geralt's eye. Honestly, he cares more for Ciri than anybody else in the entire world. And that, I think, is the most important thing, is having your significant other being there and being very supportive of your child.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say that's probably the best thing. Because I mean, as we see in the show, Geralt goes with the lengths of protecting Ciri, as even putting a blade up to Yennefer. So, as in the game, in the books, as long as Yennefer is supportive and cares for Ciri, all is well in the world. As we don't talk about the Netflix.
Which is why you were full of shit, Netflix. You would never fucking do that.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
special beef with that particular arc.
Yeah, we do, and expect more of that beef when season 4 drops.
Oh, do we
That
have
beef
a
in
release date
particular,
yet?
probably not, but nah, I haven't heard shit, dude.
Oh, okay. Um. All right. Toasty. Nice things about Triss.
I know it's hard. Come
It's
on, come
it's
on.
fucking it's not hard to say nice things about Yennefer as much as you were pretending like it was. There's a lot of good shit there. I mean, look, Triss goes to significant lengths to in both the books to help Ciri, as well as in The Witcher 3 to help Geralt find Ciri. And that is admirable of her.
That's all you got.
It's the best I got.
She expended a massive amount of power to give Ciri an amulet that could cast fireballs in the game.
Damn, wait, you have more recent experience than I do on that one, because that does not. That's
That
slipping
doesn't.
my mind at the moment.
It is for me too. I don't know why. It's a thing. I don't
Yeah.
remember Triss giving
I don't remember
Ciri
Ciri casting fireballs.
I don't
Same
know if
too.
she ever cast it, but it was a conversation that Triss and Ciri had. There's an amulet that can cast fireball, or that can call down a rain of fire.
Was that?
Was this
Oh,
the
was that from
Kaer
the Kaer
In
Morhen
Kaer
fight?
Morhen. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
I vaguely remember that.
Did she give that to Ciri? I thought she was using that. I thought Triss was the one bringing down the fucking rain of fire.
Well, she
I thought it
did.
was, yeah, she did, but I thought it was because Ciri called it using the amulet.
Okay, gotcha.
What else? Nice things
Obviously,
about
I'm
Triss.
due for a replay. Well, you know what? I got something. I don't even know if it's nice to say or whatever. But we got to talk about the one thing, because I don't know if we've talked about the one thing. You probably didn't talk about it in the Shawnee episode. I have mad respect for it's Yennefer's lumped in this too, but I have mad respect for Triss having her own sense of self-worth, when throughout the entire story of Triss she kind of feels like she doesn't. In the moment where Geralt is trying to fucking romance both of them.
Mm.
I
So I
admire
was
the
gonna
hell out of that.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
bring it up in the Shawnee episode, but then it just got way too long with talking about Kira and all, and then
Mhm.
the brothels and whatnot. And then I ended up talking about the sex scenes for a full 5 minutes straight that I didn't actually intend on doing. Um,
It's a lot of sex
so,
scenes.
huh?
I said that's a lot of sex scenes.
Yeah.
Well, it was the comparing all three and how they're all so different and all that.
Mm.
Uh, my actual analysis of the three scenes side by side. Um, but no, I totally and completely did that on my first playthrough. I was like romancing Triss because she was the chick that I had romanced in the previous two games. I hadn't read the books by the time by when I got to Witcher 3. Um, and so then I was like, okay, obviously I love Yenn. she's this raven-haired beauty who is just doing everything amazingly in my eyes. And then I'm like, but that's my ex-girlfriend. Of course I'm going to try and get with her too. What? Both of these women want me at the same time? Hell yeah. Shit, I fucked up.
Oh no. Oh
Baited.
shit.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Where's Admiral Akbar?
It's a trap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I may have done that in my first playthrough too. And it's like, oh, because thinking most RPGs, you kind of get like at some point get a confrontation. Oh, which one do you choose? Or hey, yeah, let's go, let's just go
The
with it.
threesome
But
never
this,
works.
no, it doesn't. Never. In any game you try, and you will fail.
Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate 3, in certain
Carries.
circumstances, it works, but that's it. Any other game so far, the threesome doesn't work.
Nope,
Yeah.
it's sad.
We have TTRPGs for polyamory.
Right.
It's very, very true.
In all honesty, I mean, I think that Triss, and I know that like it's a weird dynamic when all of these people are far older than they appear to be. But like I think Triss still has like more of the elements of like naivete of youth compared to like everyone else, which is fair because she's ridiculously younger compared to the rest of our cast, except for like Siri. But like she does have good intentions and a good heart. I think that she makes some questionable decisions, but it's through like the same it's the same cause, is that kind heart, and it can have great benefit, saving the mages, helping Geralt with Ciri, helping all of this, all of the ways she helps, but sometimes it can also lead to poor choices, which are 1 and 2.
All right. Very well said. Thank you
You
guys
fucking
for
happy,
being
Ben?
nice.
Hey, that was a good one right there. Look at that.
She's still
I
trash
like.
can human being, and I'm okay.
Oh, Ben's face got so sad.
The
Nice.
truth is sad. Truth hurts.
All right. To wrap the show up for tonight, I want to know, would you want your girl to show up in the next game? And if so, in what capacity?
I mean, I think Tosi and I kind of already discussed this on our show. I'm pretty sure with compared to with Witcher 4, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, we probably have. We've had a lot of
Where
discussion
I mean,
before, though.
with both of them being sorceresses, not have them fully, tied to the story like they are in Witcher 1 through 3, but be in there at some capacity, either be, in people we interact with from time to time with like either some quests here and there, Triss maybe helping you with something with Kovir, or you go to Kovir for said, contract possibly, or something like that. Yennefer, I don't know what capacity she would be, but I think we both agreed that we would like to see them in, but not as like in a full like integrated story capacity.
Okay.
Because at least that's my opinion there.
I think for Yennefer, I think it'd be cool to get a cameo. cameos are fucking great. As we've learned from a movie that recently came out, how great cameos are.
Absolutely. Holy crap, that was great.
Yeah. We're not gonna say specifically anything. Don't worry about it. But I don't like. I think, in the sense of like Geralt and Yennefer's story, that's over now. And I think like it'd be cool to see them, but briefly. Maybe like a small quest or something that involves them, but then like putting to the side. I think there's honestly a much better chance for like a more involved role from Triss than there is from Yennefer. Because despite choices that maybe, are differing opinions, in the end, in order to make a Witcher 4, CDPR has to decide what the canon is. And I think Ben and I could probably both agree that it is more likely that Geralt will end up with Yennefer if he does end up with a romance option, as the canonical ending of The Witcher 3, unless they do the bad ending and
Or they
everyone
just do the
fucking
bad
dies.
again, or Geralt just doesn't have anyone.
Yeah.
I can see that being a very realistic thing. It's like, romance. What's romance for Geralt? That's fine.
Yeah, but I see Triss being the more likely to have less strings attached to, part like the narrative of the previous game and more free flowing. Say she went away on the ship to Kovir with like the mages or whatever, based on like, and again, no confirmed things because we don't know anything, but based off of like clues that we have, it seems like they might be going across, like to kind of across the ocean or sea or whatever, to the west of the continent, for the new game, and the closest place to that from the continent would be Kovir. So
Okay.
I've seen whenever I looked up the stuff for the School of the Links for our episode there, where we were talking about like the possibilities on that, it was there's specifically a land bridge that goes from like Kovir Povis over to the new, I guess the new continent. I don't know. And like so
World.
that's the like kind of the closest thing. So I think it'd be cool. Hey, look, maybe you have the option for a less problematic romantic relationship with Triss in the new game.
Ooh,
I mean, I'd
yeah.
be cool with
Would you
that. That'd
want
be
her
fun with that.
romanceable by a different Witcher?
Hey, if she's all open for it, I'm good with it. That's just me. I think Bat Knight might be the same in chat if he's still listening.
Bat Knight is definitely a Tristan.
Look,
I know.
If this new game gives me a white-haired baddie, then then we can talk. That's really what I want.
That I already knew too.
I got a preference. It's meh.
We do know from the ending of the games that Shawnee ends up becoming the dean at Oxenford University and lives to be 90 years old. And she's only in her 20s in The Witcher 3. So we have a pretty big time frame to work with. So we could also run into Shawnee again in the next game.
Ooh, that would. Shoot, that's between. Oh no, that's a debate there.
Yeah. I know it is, again, with the lore that we're basing the quote lore that we're basing it all off of. Technically speaking, I don't think she would be an option, but Kira would also be present.
True, I don't think she'd be an option.
Yeah,
though.
because she's
the whole
her and
thing.
Lambert are a canonical thing. I think that actually is established that they're canonically romantic, and in the quote lore of the School of the Lynx, it's her and him combined with the School of the Cat, and form the School of the Lynx, and she is like the sorceress who develops the mutagens. They actually have mages working at Witcher schools now. Again, Witcher schools, yeah, schools.
School.
Right. I think that's a great place for us to wrap it up for the night, unless you guys have any final thoughts that you want to say. No. All right. Well, if you would like to hear.
I was just going to say, there's no need to wrap it up because the Witchers are sterile and immune to disease.
And sorceresses can't get pregnant. So, I guess we won't. No, we have to wrap it up because I'm not going to leave this open ended. We will conclude the show here. If you would like to hear more of the thoughts from Toasty and Ben on their individual relationships with Triss and Yennefer, we have multiple episodes out, and especially the last few episodes on this feed. Thank you guys once again for coming to hang out with me and talking all about The Witcher. Go ahead and give your plugs, Ben.
Oh gosh, I do way too much. So, as you heard at the beginning, I'm also a voice actor, starting inspiring voice actor, so that's always fun. But you can find me on multiple podcasts that I host. One with Toasty, which is obviously the Witcher Lorecast. Also, Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and now the newly added Gundam Lorecast. So go check those out. They're all on Robots Radio, just like all of our shows. And yeah, I do way too much.
That's a lot of work. That's a little too much for me, buddy, but I'm glad that you are out there producing great content about a wide variety of major fandoms. Appreciate it. Toasty.
Much like I do in my shows, I'm gonna let my co-hosts take care of the fun stuff. Go ahead, Jen.
Okay. Toasty is the bridge that binds Ben and I together because Toasty and I have the Cyberpunk Lorecast where we explore the foundations of the past, the state of Night City today, and the news of the future for all things cyberpunk. I love that you are holding your arms out, actually bridging us together right now.
Yep, we're all connected now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. You can also catch me on several of the Witcher Lorecast episodes on their Patreon chats. It's been a few months since I've been on, but pretty much I was there for a good solid 2 years straight. So if you want more of my Witcher opinions, go listen to the Patreon chats. You'll find out more about me and how many different monsters I'm willing to fuck. You can also reach out to me in our Two Girls One Ship channel on the Robots Radio Discord and come give us a follow on all the social medias and on patreon.com. Our theme music was composed by the ever-talented Pipeman Studios and our artwork was designed by the esteemed Let's Not. Links to all of those and the PAX West panels are in the descriptions. Be sure to check out our live streams on Twitch on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:38 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes release on a Monday because you need at least one good thing on a Monday. So while you're out there,
stay safe on the path.
Ben's like, what am I supposed to say? It's a phrase I hear every week, but I don't know what to say.
Well, hey, look, Jen, you never warned us.
I know.
No, yeah. And it's not our show.
So thanks for listening. And remember that beauty is in the eye of the controller. Or were you going to say it?
I was ready for that one. I was so ready for that one.
All right. We'll take it back. So thanks for listening. And remember,
The beauty is in the eye of the controller.
yay! All right, I'll edit that to make it sound better. I won't catch you off guard. Sweet. Dun, 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 dun. No more recording, no more recording. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. It's always fun.
I do. I have these little side quest episodes are becoming really fun. I already have my next month planned out. And it was because of how the Shawnee episode went, where I got to talk about, like, I compared how different the emotionality and tone was between Triss, Shawnee, and Yenn, and like how CDPR was amazing and portrayed three different types of sex scenes. With Triss, it was secretive and hidden and new. With Shawnee, it was like we've done this before, we're practiced at it, but it also feels kind of new and flirtatious. So with Triss, it was a brand new relationship. With Shawnee, it's a well-established friends with benefits, and with Yenn, you get to go buck wild because this is somebody that you've been fucking for the last 30 years, so you know where the limits are. And we got to see that in three different sex scenes in three different relationships, and I was like, when I got to compare them side by side, I was like, that was really fun. And I got to really analyze what the different physicality is, like how different the sex can be based on the type of emotional relationship you have. So I'm going to do a side by side comparison of the Mass Effect 2 scenes and going through with like how different Jack to Miranda is, where Jack's recently had an emotional breakthrough and is finally able to physically connect her emotions to her body and enjoy sex again, in comparison to like Miranda, who just owns it the entire time and therefore is a little bit rougher with Shepard. And then comparing like all the other scenes side by side together.
Okay.
Nice.
Interesting. Now, I just realized this now. Yeah, it's extremely sad that your relation, no matter who you romance into, it doesn't matter for 3 whatsoever.
In what, Witcher?
No, Mass Effect.
It does. It very much does. Are you fucking kidding
Well,
me?
like very like not like as a full like
Toast is gonna
Liara
jump,
or
bitch.
Ashley
Yeah, my wife just called me,
style.
so I'm gonna dip.
Okay.
So,
All right. Let's see you tomorrow.
yep.
Okay. Well,
What?
okay. So Ashley, from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, yeah, that one is a little bit trickier because there you can't continue any relationship from 1 to 2, but your
Mhm.
relationships from 2 to 3 definitely matter.
Well, I mean, because I romanced Miranda in 2, and in 3 she's makes 1 appearance in the entire game. Though I didn't do
Uh,
the Citadel DLC, so there's that. Because I know they
she,
kind of flushed some of that out in there.
yeah. So with Miranda, but the conversation that you have with her when you first see her again is very different if you romanced her in 2 in comparison to not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played Mass Effect. Like a good while.
I haven't necessarily played the games. I mean, it's probably been a year since I've done a full playthrough. Um,
Yeah, I think the last time I did full playthroughs is when the Legendary Collection came out.
yeah. Oh, all right. We're gonna stay live for at least another minute, so that way I hit the Twitch algorithm of streaming for a minimum of 1 hour. So I'm
That's
gonna hold
fair.
you hostage.
That's fine. I'm just, making show notes for Star Wars. The
Ah.
Star Wars.
I will say that our next upcoming game, which hasn't been announced yet, but to our listeners who are here right now, we're doing Mass Effect Andromeda next.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now that's one I haven't played in like a real good long time. Because
Yeah.
sad to say they botched it.
Well, okay, so people hate on Andromeda a lot,
Now,
and while
granted,
parts of it
I
are
enjoyed the
justified,
game personally. I enjoyed the game personally. I really liked it. I kind of wish they did a little bit more with it instead of, hey, we're going to finish the entire story in a novel. I was like, really? Like, you guys
yeah.
suck.
So there's that, and it's like everybody was expecting it to be a continuation of Shepard's story or to have another
Yeah.
key, like
Figure
truly,
like
yeah, a true Shepard like figure. And the writers
that.
just can't live up to that because they're much younger. They're not military. They were civilians who got thrust into the role. Their father could have very well been another shepherd. But that would have just made it another story about an N7 who's out here doing N7
Yep.
things. And, it's like,
Be
I
the
don't
same
know.
story, just a different face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think people would have criticized it for being that. But I liked it because when I first played it, so I played the OG trilogy on Xbox Game Pass in COVID. So it was like 2020.
That's
Because I
when you
wanted
first
a
played
new.
them?
Mhm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And
I played
then
them when they
I
released
did
on
it like
360.
yeah. I didn't play him back then. My husband played him back then, and I watched him play it. But for some reason, I must have only really been watching it when he was in combat. So all I saw
Mm,
was another dude in a power armor type suit, and it looked like another Halo game to me. And I was like, I don't like Halo. And here's some space dude shooting space rifles. Mass Effect doesn't seem like it would be a game for me. So I didn't
that's fair.
play it back then. Um, and then COVID hit and I played another Skyrim playthrough, and then I was like, okay, I'm so fucking over Skyrim. And so I asked Google. I was like, I finished Skyrim, what else should I play? And the games that popped up were Dragon Age, Fallout 4, and Mass Effect. And I was like, okay, interesting. So I downloaded Dragon Age, and I was like, oh, I like the game. The story seems cool, but I just finished Skyrim. I don't
Yeah,
want
going from fantasy to
another
fantasy.
fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I dropped it and I was like, Fallout 4. That means that this is the fourth game in a series. I'm not gonna skip all the way ahead to Fallout 4. I need to go back and play 1, 2, 3. And I was like, I can't find Fallout 1 anywhere. I'm fully aware that I did not need to play 1, 2, and 3 in order to understand Fallout 4 at all. I have played
No.
Fallout 4 now. I have completed the game. I am fully up to speed on that. Um, so instead of playing Fallout, I started playing Mass Effect, and I instantly fell in love. I did 3 playthroughs back to back to back. I did my first ever playthrough as a femshep, then I did a second playthrough for like, okay, now I know what choices I want to make, so I did a canon run, and then I did a run as a broshep, and I was like, cool, sweet. I've beat the game. I feel like I've gotten everything that I want to get out of it. And then Legendary Edition dropped. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, now I've got all the
shit.
DLCs because the Game Pass version didn't have all the DLCs. It only had like Kasumi, Zaid, and Javik. Those were the only DLCs that I had. I didn't have Shadow
Oh,
Broker. I
yeah,
didn't
because
have a rival.
it was the 360 version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that makes
So
sense.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick up Legendary Edition and I'm gonna play it. And then I started listening to the Mass Effect Lorecast and that was kind of the genesis of all of the things. Because through Mass Effect, then I found Witcher, and that, kind of the rest is history from there.
Right.
Met Sam. He's now one of the besties, It's like
Which
I met
I'm pretty sure I've met Sam in real life at some point because he used to live in the same state as I did, and we used to go to the same GameStop at some point.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I was like, no, for a fact, we probably met maybe somewhere, maybe, but I don't know.
And then I met V. I met V through the Mass Effect Lorecast, and we met at the end of September in a September Patreon chat, and then became soul sisters throughout September or throughout October, and November 7th, our first episode came out. So we turned that shit around fast.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, Andromeda. I am very excited for the game because right after I finished my first 3 playthroughs of Mass Effect OG trilogy through Game Pass, I then played Andromeda, and I wasn't involved on anything. I wasn't on Mass Effect Twitter. I wasn't on the Reddits. I knew nothing about the game or the
You didn't know everybody like freaking freaked out about?
Yeah. So I knew nothing about it. And so
I
I came in
did.
with this like clean slate of like, this game is very, very different, but the combat's amazing. I
That's one thing
love
I
the
did love about
characters.
the combat. What they did with combat. I loved what they did with that.
Yeah.
I know some people griped about it, and I was like, I love how free it is. Like,
Yeah.
compared to 1 through 3 is where you're kind of like just stuck in whatever class you are. At least with like Andromeda, you can it's a lot more open to what you can
Yeah.
do.
Customizable.
I love doing where you can have all 3 styles of combat. So I always get that and like do tech combos and power combos, and I always use the biotic wall shield because it blocks bullets,
Oh yeah.
and
See, and I
you
was
can like
just like,
shoot them back or something like that.
I
Some
loved
crazy.
having all the little robots out fighting for me, like the little drones and droids and all that stuff. So I loved uh, Andromeda. And I think it's going to be a very fun game to talk about. And that's going to get us all the way through mid-November.
Damn.
So,
All right.
yeah, because it's Liam, PB, Jal, Gil, and Suvi. And then there's
Okay.
one side chick that you can sleep with once. She's a reporter. I don't remember her name. And
Yeah,
I feel like there's an Angaran woman as well who's a one night stand. I don't remember. That's my part of the research that I need to do is side chicks.
Yeah, I don't remember. I romanced Phoebe. That's all I remember what I did.
Oh, yeah.
And that
This was actually the first time that I role played my romance choice. So for Andromeda, I was like, okay, I'm a human woman because I went with a female writer for my first playthrough. I was like, I'm a human woman who is now in a new universe or a new galaxy, solar system, and we're here to repopulate. I'm sorry, Jal's really cool, Cora's really hot, Gil's gay. The only person that's gonna make a human baby with me is Liam.
yeah, true. That's fair.
So I romance Liam for storyline reasons.
I really wish they went with the DLC still because the I believe the DLC was supposed to be with the it was another arc coming in. It was
The
what's Tally's race?
Corian, the
Corian. It was the
Corian,
Corian arc.
Volus, and Drell were on.
Yeah, it was that arc, and they were going to bring their species into the game. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then because of the sad negative feedback, it just went. And it's like, yep, our DLC is going to be canceled. We're going to finish the story in a book because people didn't like it. And personally, in my opinion, they should never had because it was a B studio that did Andromeda, and the main studio that did the Mass Effect series was making Anthem at the time.
Yeah, I heard Anthem was
And we
shit. I know
all know
nothing about it.
where Anthem went because after 2 years, or I think it was after a year, they killed it. Like, they completely took off servers. Like, they didn't support it anymore. I think it might have been after 2 years. It just, no, it's not good. It was a good concept, but they should have had their B teams work on that, and then once they finished Andromeda, then go help their B team with Anthem. But that's not what EA wanted,
All right.
sadly.
I think. Oh, yep. An hour and 11 minutes streaming. We hit our goal. So thanks, chat, for hanging out. Love and appreciate you all. Next week we start Andromeda. So that should be fun and interesting. Oh, and a reminder that our Patreon episode needs to change, right? Because V and I are not going to be in town on the 30th. We will be very, very, very busy and not available to chat. So I'm pretty sure that our Patreon chat is going to be on August 23rd. So in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. Time is weird. Anyways, yeah. Bye.